wait no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, where each and every week I, myself, your host, Joseph, along with my best friend Kyle, talk about the latest and greatest in PlayStation each and every Thursday. Oh my goodness, I'm doing it. Kyle, I'm doing it. The greatest co-host whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty great today. Like most of us here tonight in this podcast. Well, I don't know why I said most. I should have said the three of us. I'm extremely tired. This was day 9 out of the past 10 that I've worked. So I'm extremely exhausted, but I get a day off tomorrow, so I'm excited to play some games.
Yeah, I'm going under the weather right now. I'm getting sick. This is like the pre-stage where tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be sick. So I'm really happy about it. Real tired. And along with us on the ride today, Mr. Andrew from Racoon City Radio.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how are you, sir?
I had to fight myself from laughing so hard because you nailed the intro and then you stopped for a second. You're like, Kyle, I'm doing it. And then you kept going.
Yeah, man, it happens. Sometimes
it's fleeting.
It's fleeting.
It was very funny. It was very funny.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm really happy to have you on because we're doing this new thing where I want to bring more people in, especially when it's kind of slower for me, so we can just, get to know people more. I keep on talking to Sean Capri and Bobby Paul. It's like the worst talking to Bobby. So I'm only kidding. I love you. So with that, before we talk about all the news and stuff, we got Borderlands 3. We got big rumors that aren't going to happen. We got even remote play coming to iOS and hopefully soon Android. We got people doing cocaine. It's a weird week. But before we do all of that, Kyle?
Yeah.
What have you been playing, man?
So really quickly over the weekend, there was that Tetris 99 event.
Was there an event?
Switch. Oh yeah, there was. The top 999 players who have the most wins during the event get $10 to Nintendo eShop.
Ooh.
Played a bunch this weekend. I only won once because everyone was on their A game. It was really hard. The moment the event ended, the first game I played, I won.
Wow.
But it didn't count towards the cup or anything, so I was very upset.
That's dope,
so
though.
Played that. I still love it. It's amazing. I got the GameStop GA there, who had no idea that Tetris 99 was a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just stop laughing at me and just go download it and play it for a little bit and then come back at me. Well, other than that, I picked up Far Cry New Dawn. I saw a lot of the Let's Plays. I watched a couple, and it just looked really fun and something that Far Cry 5 wasn't for me.
Okay. And how are you liking this one, New Dawn?
I'm in the first hour and a half of it.
But so far.
First thing out of the gate is it is gorgeous. I don't remember Far Cry 5 looking like this.
Okay.
And I don't have a 4K TV, but it looks amazing. It's funny at what a little dash of some hot neon color will do to the overall world.
I got you.
And it's not just even in the cutscenes, just walking around the world. It's gorgeous. I love it. I just love the whole vibe of it, and I'm super excited. And I love being here recording, but I actually really just want to go play this game.
I feel you. Sean Capri over at the Xbox Drive, our mortal foe, he loves it so far. Yeah, I think he even beat it. He really enjoyed it. So I'm glad that this game's got traction. It just doesn't have its hooks in me. I don't have any need or drive to play that. Ooh, that was ironic. But I have no drive to actually play that game. None whatsoever. Yeah. But again, I'm happy that people are excited for it. Andrew, what have you been playing this week?
Well, this past weekend I was in an Apex Legends tournament.
Right, the Snowbike Mike one, right?
Yeah, we got our asses whooped first round. We were practicing. Our practice rounds were way better than the official rounds, but other than that, I've literally just been playing a lot of Apex. And I know, Joe, that you have too. I'm not sure about you, Kyle.
No, I'm trash at it. Whenever I play, my goal is just to get a kill. I have yet to have a kill in the game.
That is the goal, though.
Yeah. I think there was one round. The other day I had it's always the rounds you do really good in that you end up losing in. There's a round, I think 2 days ago, Rybo, correct me because you're amazing and you've been doing it all week. So why not stop here? I think I got 8 to 10 kills in one round, and I felt really good about it. I was doing really well, and then I made one dumb decision as Bangalore, and I felt really dumb. Really dumb. But yeah,
use your smoke.
Oh God, got to. And you gotta act fast when you do it too. Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Anything else other than Apex? I know you've been working
no,
hard.
It's totally fine. I mean, we're in that kind of slow season. Mm-hmm. I know, like at the beginning of 2019, they kind of sprinkle in like a big game here, like a big game there.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, I finally finished up Resident Evil, like both campaigns. I bought Devil May Cry 5 this last week.
Yeah.
Played like maybe an hour of it, but
how'd you like that hour?
I mean, it was fun. Like it was arcadey, but I, as someone who has no connection to the Devil May Cry series, I have not the slightest clue what's happening.
Same
I honestly bought the game just to show Capcom's support. Just because like they've been killing it with like all the games they've put out, like Resident Evil, Monster Hunter World last year, like just all that stuff. So my plan is to go back to it and play it some more, and I'm gonna play The Division this weekend on PlayStation.
Are we gonna squad up, boys? Are we gonna squad up?
We can.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited for Division.
Yeah. Are you still playing Siege, Andrew?
I've kind of put Siege in the back burner just for now. You know, like the new season just started, and there's like 2 new characters, and there's a new map, and they reworked, I think, one of the older maps. But I was unemployed for half a year, so like I had a lot of time to get really good at Siege, and now it's just kind of like I think I got burned out a little bit. Just because there is a lot of things in that game that still need to be perfected before I think it's really, really good. And I've talked to friends that still play that game, and it sounds like the game is being worked on in the right direction. Okay. And my plan is to go back like soon, but it's just one of those things where we have so much coming out right now that I would rather focus on that for right now, and then eventually go back. Like when Days Gone comes out, like that's probably all I'll be playing.
Oh, absolutely.
And like maybe some Apex, but
yeah. So I've been playing a little bit of Apex as well. And we could talk about Apex all day and all the wins I get. That's obvious. But the one game that I've been playing I really want to talk about is Devil May Cry 5. I did a video over at Bad Big Games about it. I'm a fresh face when it comes to the Devil May Cry universe and characters and games in general. I've always heard my one friend Dan loves that game. That's his series. And so we always used to talk about it with so much love. And going into 5, I was a little nervous. Like I'm excited to get into these, this world in with these characters, but like the spread of microtransactions always scares me, and so seeing it in this game, I got a little worried. I'm practically done with the game. I have no idea what's going on. And half of that does go into the fact that I did not play the last 4 games, so I can't be like too hard on it. But some of the voice actors, like the main bad guy, is phoning it in. And some of the lines that are given to the voice actors are just really cheesy and campy. And some of it comes down to that's just how the game's written. But others, it comes down to the conversion from Japanese over to English. Like something happened. And it's just the translation. I said conversion like it's math. But yeah, it's really great. It plays how you think one of those games would play back in like the 6th generation, right? Like the PS2 era, but it's learned everything from other games that have happened after it. It's flashy, it's fun, the combos are easy enough for me as someone who I can't hit a combo to save my life. Like even spam triangle gets hard for me. So yeah, I'm really liking this game. Capcom is on a freaking roll. Like you just stated earlier, Resident Evil is still my goatee so far. Nothing's even coming close. But Devil May Cry, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about this game at the end of the year. You had Monster Hunter, you had then Resident Evil again. Like they're doing work, and so I'm really liking where this game is. And when it comes to the microtransactions, they're unnoticeable. Like you wouldn't even know. I don't even know how to buy anything with real money in that game.
Yeah,
so.
I dug around with it for a
Yeah.
little bit because I know that was such a small thing that people were kind of discussing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm just like flipping through menus. I'm like, I can't even find like the microtransactions, and let alone I don't even know how it works. And honestly, like, why would you spend money on something like that? You know, because like I've seen microtransactions for single player games before, and it always kind of baffles me, like,
Why?
why?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like specifically something that it was Capcom the developer and the publisher for this game? Or
Yes.
is it like their studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their decision.
Yeah.
But I there's no reason for me. Like the same thing with Middle Earth Shadow of War. They did the same thing where they had microtransactions, and that game is
Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But again,
so
like,
it's whatever.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey didn't feel halted by them.
No.
As where Shadow of War, when you get to almost the very end, they're just like, there's a grind, you know? So, yeah, I don't know why it's there either. But with that, that's what we've been playing. I want to get to the goobers this week because there's a ton of them and they're really good. And Kyle, this one's for you. I thought of you when I was typing this. I was like, this.
Yes. I'm
After
so
the
excited.
Vita's death, there is life.
And we'll get to it later. But then Sony's like, hey, remember the Vita? Too bad. Here's something else you can play video games on the go with.
Kyle, what's the first story on the goobers, my friend?
This first goober comes from Push Square. Borderlands 3 announcement tease for Gearbox's PAX East panel. If a tweet from the official Gearbox Twitter account is anything to go by, we might finally get our first look at Borderlands 3 on March 28th. The tweet is quite clearly stylized, similarly to that of the Adventures of Claptrap, while the Exit 3 in the top right corner could be a subtle hint to what to expect.
Kyle,
Joe,
I know you're a big Borderlands fan.
it's one of my favorite franchises.
They're announcing this game early. It seems we have a picture of, again, it's
Very
classic.
shady.
Yeah, it's a classic Borderlands art style. It says Exit 3. It's clearly referencing
Got it, yep.
Borderlands 3. They would not troll their fans this hard. That's what she said. Yes, you get one every episode. Kyle, is this game a fall game?
Oh man, I kind of feel like it is.
Okay.
Because Borderlands 3 has been kind of like not even really teased, but rumored for the last couple of years. Like every E3, it's like, oh, is this the year we finally see what it is? Mm-hmm. And we haven't, and we've known they've been working on it forever. So they could pull a Bethesda and be like with Fallout 4 and like, hey, and it's out this October, or
That'd be pretty dope.
or whatever. And I'm all for it. I need some more Borderlands in my life.
Papa Drew, I got a question for you. Are you a Borderlands fan?
Okay, so I've played Borderlands 1 and I've played Borderlands 2. It's been a long time. Obviously, for people like Kyle who are hardcore fans, it's been a very long time since Borderlands 2, and everyone's kind of aching for one.
Yeah.
I like Borderlands. I guess to me, maybe it doesn't stick with me as much because when I played Borderlands 1 and 2, I didn't really have a lot of friends. And I know that sounds depressing, but like I didn't have like this vast community that I am now a part of.
Yeah.
Right.
Where I could like text one of you guys and be like, hey, do you want to play Borderlands?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd never really had that kind of couch co-op or online co-op experience with Borderlands. So it was kind of just like lone gunning it. And I think that might have kind of dampened my experience with it. So I do like the loot. I like the random guns and stuff like that. I always thought that stuff was kind of cool.
The writing is top notch.
Absolutely. And like I love Mad Max. Like, that's one of like Mad Max Fury Road's like one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm. So I like that same like vibe. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more goofy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would say I'm like
intermediate,
very
like you're in the
low key.
Yeah.
Like
and it's funny you say that because with Borderlands 2 specifically, I have never played with Borderlands with another person.
Really? Okay.
I've beaten it like 7-8 times, and I've always done it solo. And I've had a blast with it. But it is something where I feel like if I have another one of the really cool characters and it's somebody else playing as them, I feel like that would be a really cool dynamic in
I
this
think it'd
world.
be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd
I
be
think
crazy
really
fun.
So I'm not a Borderlands guy like Andrew with similar things. Like back in the day, I didn't have many friends that played games. Like most of my friends in real life, they're not gamers whatsoever.
Same.
So for me, it's hard to find 4 people. Now though, with games as service, with the shooter looters, which is God, I hate that. I hate it.
I hate it too.
But it's so catchy, and you know it's gonna stick.
Yeah.
God, it's awful. But with all those games like Destiny, Anthem, which is, man, it's killing it. That's not me. Division coming out. What are 2 things you would like to see Borderlands take on when it comes to what these games like Destiny have learned from Borderlands? I'll go with you, Andrew. What are 2 things you'd like to see?
I think, and this is just coming off of literally the question you just asked,
Yeah.
like right away. It's just, I think, stop, if it's going to be a games of service, like maybe somehow don't shove the fact that you're doing microtransactions into someone's face.
Right.
And I know that's like almost next to impossible to just be like, oh, hey, like you can buy this thing. Like you can purchase like skins, or like you can get like loot packs or whatever, so you can have better loot, so you can grind a little bit easier.
That's kind of like what I was thinking too. Is the first thing is no loot boxes.
Yeah.
None. No Eververse. Whatever that equivalent would be.
I could see them doing something what was in 2, where they had these things, were they golden keys or something? Okay. And there was like a specific area in the main hub where you could go and use one of these golden keys to unlock like cool loot.
Yeah.
And like you would gain them from leveling up or finding them for doing certain like achievements in the game. And I could see them kind of doing it that way. Like you could buy more keys, and it's not that like you would unlock something that's way overpowered for you. I think it unlocks at your level.
Yeah.
So if you hold on to those keys, then you get higher stuff later on when you're leveled up, and it's super badass.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I feel like microtransactions take away a lot of the grind in some of these
100%
games.
agree.
And
And
that's what
it's
it's all
like
about.
that's what made like older game, like that's what made Borderlands 2 Borderlands 2. Like was the grind. It's all about the grind. It's all about fighting something that's way more difficult than what you have in your inventory, beating them with said inventory, and then like taking their stuff and getting better stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I want to pay, or why? I don't know. This is the new age. I should just get used to it. But like,
No,
that's
you don't
just the
have to get
question
used to it.
I asked myself.
Yeah, no, I totally don't want them to be part of the game.
So how would you want microtransactions to be implemented? Because the one way I actually could see it implemented, since we don't want any type of loot boxes in this game, we want them to be as I guess invasive as possible.
Yeah.
Do we want this to be like, like kind of like a battle pass, where it's like you get a character every 3 months for like $10, or what are we doing here?
I personally would rather it not just be a games as service model at all. Mm-hmm. I kind of
that's how they're gonna do it.
But
I know it is, and I'm expecting that. And if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be beyond happy. But
yeah,
I just don't feel like Borderlands is that type of game.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's all about making that extra little bit of money.
Yeah.
All right. So the 2 things I think we want is little loot boxes as possible, and please don't make this a games as a service.
I think if there are microtransactions, I think the best thing to do it for is just cosmetics.
Yeah.
Different outfits for your character.
Yeah, just make it like Overwatch, where it's
absolutely.
Like you can get cosmetics for free, but if you want the really good stuff, you have to buy.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
Supports the game over time. Yeah. Dope. With that, Kyle, we got the next one, and that is a rumor has it. Okay.
It's a big one.
I'm so sorry. Let me say this over. Rumor has it. And I feel like before we begin, if I can have just a 2-minute rant here.
Okay, go.
Of how we handle rumors and speculations here on the Trophy Room, also on Bad Bit Games. So with that, all seriousness, Joe's walking in, Bad Bit's walking out. The way we handle rumors and speculation when it gets this big, and when it gets to things that are obviously not real or happening is there's always three ways I think of things, because we're entering the year of the rumors and speculations as we get closer to things like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox that are coming out. They're just unavoidable. So there's usually three trains of thought. It's either you don't talk about rumors or speculation whatsoever. B, you either play fast or loose with it. You kind of pick what you think would make a good conversation and that you're knowledgeable on, and letting the audience know that this is a rumor. Or three, you do what most of YouTube does and you treat it like fact. And so what we do here at the Trophy Room and on Bad Big Games is we play a little fast and loose with it. We're always option two. If we can have a good conversation about said rumor, like for example, if I ran an Xbox podcast, we would be talking about the Xbox Maverick that is rumored to be coming out in April. But instead of talking about the rumored console, we would talk about the effects said disc-less console would be. What type of effects would it have on the industry and the games that surround it and the players around it? So when we talk about really big rumors like we're going to talk about here, I need to make this clear. It's just rumor. It's just speculation. That's what makes podcasts fun, is that it's a big conversation. I'm not claiming to be a journalist. Neither is anybody here. So Kyle?
I'm not.
Okay, thank God. Kyle? It's a big one. This comes from GameIndustry.biz.
About those rumors Sony is buying Take-Two. Earlier today, the gaming world reacted with shock to word that Sony was on the verge of closing a deal to acquire Take-Two Interactive, possibly giving the PlayStation platform first-party exclusivity on key franchises like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and NBA 2K, among others. Take-Two Interactive Software stock climbed 4.7% on rumors that Sony Corporation is in advanced board-level discussions to acquire Take-Two Interactive in a mostly cash deal. That would value the company at $130 a share, according to Joel Kulina, head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities. When we reached out for details, Kulina said he was confused at the sudden attention. This is purely unconfirmed market speculation that is making the rounds, he said. I am not the source of the story in any regard, and not sure who quoted me, as I didn't speak with anyone over the phone, unless someone saw a trading note that I wrote. Kulina did release a note today that included the bit MarketWatch quoted under a heading specifying Take-Two M&A chatter making rounds, plus 2.5%, no source, unconfirmed. The writers of the MarketWatch piece, Sue Chang and Chris Matthews, in turn confirmed for us that Kulina's note was the only place they had heard that rumor. The stock shot up at the start of the trade today to lead the S&P 500, and I was simply looking for plausible explanations, Matthew said. Joel's in a good position to know what's moving individual tech stocks, even if they are just rumors. In terms of timing, Take-Two stock was well up before his email went out, so it was not his dissemination of the rumor that sparked the move. Take-Two responded to GameIndustry.biz's inquiry saying, as a practice, we do not comment on rumors or speculation. As of this writing, Sony has not yet responded to a request for comment.
Everybody, round of applause. Everybody in the car, standing ovation to what has been the greatest read in the history of a podcast absolutely ever, said
I don't know about that.
That was amazing. I could close my eyes and I could picture all these white people talking, because that's what I'm just thinking, right? You even got, what is his name? John Kahlua? Like that sounded right. If it was me, God, I don't even know what I would do. Kyle.
You would say it wrong because it's Kulina.
It's son of a bitch. Kyle,
yeah.
We have a writer that writes in via twitter.com at PS Trophy Room, just like you can too, with any of your questions. And trust me, we'll get to Andy's snail mail in just a second. Derry writes into us via Trophy Room and asks this. What do you think of the news about Sony buying Take-Two?
Flabbergasted is probably the first thing that comes to my mind.
It's not happening.
No.
Andrew, it's not happening, right?
No. I mean, as cool as that could be.
Oh, yes. It'd be insanely cool.
That's just not going to happen. Like, Take-Two makes so much damn money.
Yeah.
Like, Rockstar helps them with that, obviously.
Dude, Grand Theft Auto alone costs more than Star Wars. Do we actually think, and that's that property alone, that things like NBA that goes with it, WWE, whatever that contract is, goes with it, and Borderlands goes with it. Dude, that's a multi-billion-dollar stake. That's damn where near double digits when it comes to billion. No, this is not happening whatsoever. And we saw a lot of sites and a lot of YouTubers jump on this news, state it like it's fact. It definitely isn't.
Yeah.
There's no way this would happen. And to be completely honest.
It would be like they would have to sell themselves to Sony for so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Sony would literally have to pull money bags out of like the couch cushion.
Sony would have to ask their dad for a small loan of like a couple
$1
billion.
To be a loan taken out.
Yeah, so
they would go over. They would actually ask Microsoft for a loan.
excuse me, sir. Yeah, no, this isn't happening. And also, I don't want it to happen because like there are so many games that were once multi-platform that would then just be maybe possibly closed off just because of this deal. That's not fair to like GTA fans. Right? No. Like, and probably the sports side of it too would have to be multi-platform because of the contracts they have with them. So
that would mean that PlayStation would have the only baseball game in the show. Yeah. And then NBA 2K, which is the best basketball game. Yeah. That's insane.
Don't get me wrong, if you're a Sony fan, that would be awesome. But if you're anybody else, that sucks. And again, I know this is a Trophy Room podcast made by the players for the players. It's for the players, right? So for me, this is not a move that screams for the players. Now, like, does that mean that Sony isn't going to go out there next generation with, some type of money bags buying out some developers? Sure, but to buy whole publishers, that's another thing. And I don't want that to happen.
Can I ask this question?
Yes. Yeah, you may.
Do you think that there is some validity to this and where Sony is going to Take-Two and say, hey, can we talk about maybe getting the agent back or doing an exclusive game for PlayStation?
Did Blessing get in your head with this? Did Blessing get in your head with this, with his little tweet?
No, the moment I saw this, I thought the same thing, but Blessing is way too quick, so I didn't want to put it out there. It's just like, I feel like maybe somebody overheard talk between Sony and Take-Two, and then they just blew it up.
Maybe, but maybe it's just them talking to each other because they're either planning some type of maybe exclusivity with Borderlands, but we don't know because with the announcement of Borderlands 3, Microsoft's also coming in and like doing like partner tweets with them. So like maybe they're doing some type of ad deal with Borderlands or continuing their ad deal with Red Dead. Yeah. And that's what people kind of misconstrued the messaging, But don't buy into it. Don't buy into it.
Oh, no.
No. Now, Eric comes in and he writes via the Bad Bit Discord with this question. Given the recent rumor of Sony buying 2K, what do you believe should be the next big move / decision that Sony should make to keep themselves on top of the next console generation? Andrew, this is a big question that I didn't prep you for. So I'm just going to throw you right into the fire.
So I'll probably answer it just like very... whatever. Let me see. So let me read this again. Okay. Given the recent rumor of Sony buying 2K, what do you believe should be the next big move decision that Sony should make to keep themselves on top? Okay. So now what Kyle was saying, and apparently Blessing got in his head, but what Kyle was saying was, what if Sony did go to a studio like Take-Two and was like, let's do an exclusive game together, kind of like what we did with Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I like that. I like moves like that. And I know that I know Xbox people can feel like it's kind of a slap to the face when, you get a game like Spider-Man that's only coming to PlayStation.
And it's actually good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and
suck.
I think I really enjoy moves like that just because it makes me feel like I'm valued as a paid customer to that specific brand. They're like, oh, we want to treat you with a game that, number one, is we're trusting like the studio to make a really good game. Who makes good games,
right?
And with a character, a property that usually doesn't get good games, and so like I kind of felt like that was a treat from Sony with Spider-Man, and so if they keep doing things like that, I think that will keep them on top.
Okay.
In terms of like hardware, I don't really know. I know the Xbox One X has like a lot of juice behind it, and I know the Pro is basically just just looks really good on a 4K TV. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have an Xbox One X, so I really don't know the specs behind it. So
It has
don't
all the
know-
teraflops. That's all you need to know.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
good to know.
So all you would really want is just like Sony to go out there, make another big move, like with a Spider-Man esque.
Yeah,
but maybe
absolutely.
with 2K with
Focus
Agent.
on. I feel like Sony has done so well with this generation, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's honestly worked out for them because of how much they focused on single player.
Okay.
Like God of War was great.
Yeah.
You know,
Spider-Man
Horizon.
amazing.
Horizon was great.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you know, whatever.
Well, they're
Spider-Man.
wrong. We don't listen to those people.
Spider-Man was excellent. So it's like, I feel like from what I've seen with Xbox is like they don't really give that to their gamers or their customers.
Or well, they
whatever you
haven't
wanna
been
call
this
them.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like if Sony can focus on that, I think that's another huge thing that a big decision and a big move,
Okay.
and it would keep them on top.
Kyle, what do you think? What is their next big decision? What's their next even big purchase? Even
Purchase is weird. I don't know what that could be, but I agree with Andrew. Just keep tailoring to us as a fan base and rewarding us with amazing single player experiences, because that is why I am a PlayStation gamer, and that's why I think we love PlayStation so much, because we get those deep, rich stories that we can just immerse ourselves in. I will say that if they are truly committed to PSVR, maybe PSVR gets like a wireless edition, or with like 4K lenses or whatever the next step is from whatever iteration we have.
yeah.
And just really hammer that home that we're in the VR game and we're taking this super seriously.
I think the next big step for Sony, for me at least, is in what our next story is, where, you know, the PlayStation Vita, God rest its little soul out there. But we just saw with Xbox, with their Inside Xbox, if you didn't fall asleep during it, I know it was hard. They had Project xCloud on stage, and it was seriously fucking impressive. And like Antonio did like a troll question of like, why is the Vita considered the shit, but you know, xCloud isn't? Nobody's saying it isn't. I think it's really awesome, and I think Vita is shit. I'm so sorry, Kyle, but it is. If it wasn't, it would be alive. So like, to me, yeah, like that's the future. And our next story is something I feel like they definitely need to invest in. So Kyle, what's the next story on the Goober?
The PS4's Remote Play update now lets you stream to iOS devices. This comes from The Verge. You can now use the PS4's Remote Play functionality on iOS devices thanks to version 6.50 of the console's firmware, allowing you to remotely play your PS4 games from an iPhone or iPad. To access it, you'll need to download the Remote Play app for your iOS device and then pair it with your console. Announced back in 2013, Remote Play originally let you stream games from a PS4 console to the handheld PlayStation Vita. But later in 2016, Sony released Remote Play apps for both Windows and Mac. Although Sony has yet to announce a broader Android version of the service, the existence of an Android version of the app that's exclusive to Sony Xperia phones suggests there aren't any technical barriers. Bringing the functionality to iOS is a huge expansion for Remote Play, although it's a shame that you're not officially able to pair a DualShock 4 controller with the app via Bluetooth for a more authentic experience. You'll need an iPhone 7 or 6th generation iPad or later to use it, and it's also only available over Wi-Fi. You can't use Remote Play from another location over a mobile network. Alongside bringing Remote Play to iOS, PS4 version 6.50 also adds the ability for you to remap the X and O buttons on the controller, depending on which one you want to use for the Enter command. Japanese consoles have historically used the O button, while Western models have relied on X. For the first time, this update allows you to pick which one you want to use.
Kyle, I'm closing my eyes because I'm picturing every word you're saying, man.
Hey, man.
Nailing it.
I'm feeling good.
It. Dude, I swear to God, this is the... Oh, my God. We're on a roll. Guys, have any of you tried this new Remote Play app?
No.
No?
No,
Andrew?
I've watched videos though, and it's a meme.
Let me tell you something about this, okay?
I don't think
Everybody's
my
gonna
phone
meme
could last. My battery will die instantly if I try to play on this.
I gotta say, I don't know why this thing exists.
Exactly.
See, I was gonna say that too, but I thought maybe you guys would laugh at me.
No.
I'm laughing at it too. I guess.
Yeah.
I am a Vita fanboy.
Yeah.
The Vita was perfect for this. Well, I shouldn't say perfect.
Yeah.
It's not as powerful, but
I loved my
worked.
Vita. I loved my Vita until it reformatted the memory card without me telling it to do that.
Yeah, I've had that problem too.
Yeah, I've tried it, guys. I tried playing games on it, and I'm gonna say something. It's gonna sound fanboyish, but this sounded really cool. I got to play it, and you can't use this thing on most games. Anything, anything that involves an R1 or R2, like maybe a basic platformer. Yeah, other than that, it's unplayable. The other thing too, I was trying to swipe in the menu, like how the UI is. I was trying to swipe left and right, and it wasn't working. I had to actually use the analog sticks. It's a weird thing that exists that I don't know why it's out, because things like xCloud are really awesome. It's really amazing. I'm thinking, I honestly think this thing exists because they know Google is coming out with their console in 2 weeks, or at least announcing it. Xbox with xCloud, and they needed to get something out fast. I just hope that this is the groundwork, because to me, it's really awesome groundwork for things to come. And that's where I think Sony really needs to pay attention in, is how to build that infrastructure, like having an xCloud service, like having that Google streaming service where you're playing your games on your phones and having it hooked up to a controller. Because I'll be real with you, if it hooked up to a controller, it would be absolutely fine. It would be actually super impressive. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it doesn't, and you have to use the stupid touchscreen, boy, oh boy.
Am I wrong in thinking that some Sony TVs years ago you were able to stream from games to?
Yeah. And then that quietly died, which is weird. But yeah, it is what it is. It's super weird. Kyle, what is the next story? Any other news week, that would have been the top thing to talk about. Mm-hmm. But no one cares, because we got so much awesome stuff.
This next one comes from the PlayStation blog, which also, shout out, got a redesign recently.
It blew my mind. Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Fantastic.
I don't like change, but I like this change.
As the Imagine Dragons say, welcome to the new age, PlayStation blog. Yeah. Welcome. It's been a long time coming. Throwback ninja platformer, The Messenger, arrives on PS4 March 19th. When Sabotage creative director Thierry Boulanger, oh man, I butchered that one.
Oh wait, can I try to do a French?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thierry Boulanger.
That was probably way better than what I tried.
You had to do the hand too.
Oh, big it.
When he was 8 years old, his grandfather gave him a copy of Ninja Gaiden 2. Mm-hmm. This event sparked a lifelong interest in telling stories and creating his own dream video game. About 25 years later, The Messenger, an 8-bit ninja platformer that blossoms into a 16-bit Metroidvania, was released to critical acclaim, earned the Game Award for Best Debut Indie Game of 2018, and was even praised by the Ninja Gaiden creators themselves. Ever since The Messenger was announced, fans have been asking us to bring it to the PS4. Well, the wait is over, and we are very excited that the PlayStation family can carry the scroll and do the thing with the DualShock controller starting March 19th.
Now, are you guys interested, just yay or nay, into The Messenger?
I own it on Switch. It's amazing. I played it at PAX last year, and it was funny because, really quick, Greg Miller, love of his life, John Viev, was there. And she was like, don't even ask if it's coming to Vita or PlayStation. Don't even ask.
Don't even do it.
And now a year later, I got to play on PS4. I'm very excited.
Awesome. Andrew?
Yeah, I love ninjas. Mm-hmm. So I bought this game when this game was released. I love retro looking games, platformers, that kind of thing. So I was all in on this game when it came out on the Switch.
Awesome.
I think I put the first couple days, I put 8 hours into the game, and I still hadn't beaten it. Yeah, just because there are some parts in there that are very difficult.
It's a difficult game.
Keep dying. I'm like, okay, but I still had that urge to keep playing regardless of being killed a bunch. But I don't think I ever beat it though. I need to go back.
So are you gonna do it on the PlayStation 4?
See, here's the thing. I'm one of those weird guys where it's if it's on the Switch, I want to rather play it on the Switch versus I don't buy any games on PlayStation anymore.
Yeah, same
unless I know for a fact it is not coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Like,
We
which
just-
more than likely it's probably going to come to Switch.
Yeah, and like that's my thing too. When it comes to indie games like Wargroove, which we're talking about in a second, like I play it on the Switch. I just gravitate because that is to me where the indie games are. That's where also like when I think of Nintendo, I think of those types of games. But it leads into my next question because we all know that Shuhei Yoshida, he's the president of Sony First Party, but he's so much more than that. We know he secretly runs the whole gamut over at Sony. We know he's even bigger than that. He might as well be the Illuminati. If I was Shu and I ran PlayStation and we get to steal one Switch indie game, what is it? And for me, why is it Wargroove? Because Wargroove slaps. Come on, Sony, stop being so stupid with crossplay. Let it happen so Wargroove can come out so I could kick Sean Capri's ass. Let it be so.
Oh man,
What's that one indie game?
Do I have to answer this question?
Yes, you
Like
do.
to steal the one indie game?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switch indie game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably put my money on. Oh wait, I think that's on PlayStation.
Just don't worry, you
Moonlighter.
can
Is
shoot-
Moonlighter on PlayStation?
You know what? I don't know.
What, you said Moonlander?
Yeah.
Moonlighter?
Moonlander. I don't
Have
know.
you played Moonlighter?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's very cool. It's like a roguelike.
Okay.
And so
Oh, sweet.
basically what you do is you run a shop. It's like your parents' shop and you sell stuff to people within the town. But at night you go into the caves and you fight enemies and you steal their loot so you can sell it in your shop.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds
very
really
cool game.
Yeah.
I have it on Switch. Yeah, I
Here's
don't know.
the thing,
I guess I'd say
Shuhei-
Moonlighter.
Shuhei is so good at what he does. He's already snuck into the Nintendo vault. He actually walked up and like Miyamoto's like, "You're not gonna get me this time." Shuhei also almost did the accent. That would have been terrible. And then, and he's just
God
like,
you
he's like, "Well, I just got one question for you, Miyamoto." He's like, "Yeah, what's that?" And then Shuhei just pulls out a cloth. He goes, "Does this smell like chloroform?" Bam, knocked out. He swings the vault open. And he's already got Moonlighter. We got Moonlighter on the PS4, baby. That's Shuhei works in mysterious ways. Kyle,
Yeah.
what is the game that you would steal from the Switch?
Well,
It's not Wargroove because it's awesome.
before the news that Messenger was coming over, my answer would have been the Messenger. But I'm going to steal a future Switch indie game.
Okay.
It is that game that was announced during, I think, one of the directs. Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Okay.
It's like that pop album rhythm platforming game that's coming to Switch.
Yeah,
I would
saw,
totally
maybe
wanna play
2
that.
seconds of footage for that game.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I know what you're talking about.
I think the idea is really cool. It sounds really cool. And yeah, I'll play that on my PlayStation.
Honestly, the other one besides Wargroove for me that I know is coming to the PlayStation 4 soon, I really want to play Ape Out, but for some reason,
Good call.
I don't want to play it on my Switch.
Why?
I think it's because the little nubs. Because I usually play the Switch on handheld mode unless I'm playing Splatoon, and there's little nubs I can't get over. And that game looks like you need precision to play.
What little nubs?
You know, the little nubby thumbsticks.
The Joy-Con.
Yeah, the little Joy-Cons.
They're
too small.
They're like the same size as like.
I don't
Joe
got
is
Trump
really
hands.
rough with his controllers.
I don't have Trump hands. I got to be
I
like
just-
just.
Did you
it's
say
too
Trump
small.
hands?
Yeah, because he has small hands. He's also a racist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, but but I just bought a Satisfy
Uh-huh.
grip.
Yeah, me too. Change the
And
game.
have you tried playing Ape Out with it yet?
No, not yet.
Helps out
Not
a
yet.
lot,
It
dude.
helps out a
Oh,
lot,
you
but
haven't
like.
even played Ape Out. Okay.
Yeah, but like they also have these like other like attachments. What is this? A fucking PlayStation podcast we're talking about anyway. But like you put it on. No, don't worry about it. We don't care. We put it on the little thumbsticks, and like it when you're trying to move forward because the nub's too big, it kind of like knocks into the drink. Well, it should just
You
make
don't have to have it on.
Yeah, I
mean,
know, but it helps me out so much. I think it just need that. Anyway, Nintendo, learn to make a fucking controller for a regular person hand, all right? Jesus. Tim
all
son, don't
obese.
listen to me.
We're all
Don't
obese
listen
and
to
have
my
big
wife.
hands.
Yeah, come
Help
on,
us out.
man.
Like,
It's not like they're making a VR unit out of cardboard or anything.
Don't get
That's
me,
true.
Don't get me started on that
that's
bullshit. Mr. Nintendo Guru, it's going to sell 1 million copies. You got to be
I
dumb,
laughed
stupid, ugly to
because
believe that.
I
Yeah.
didn't think that was real, and then I realized that a lot of those.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're very passionate. It's going to sell 1 million units so far. Kyle,
Yeah.
what's the next Scoober?
Oh, we got some Flash news, Joe.
Pew, pew, pew.
first bit of Flash news is Devil May Cry 5 is Capcom's second UK #1 of 2019. This comes from GameIndustry.biz. Anthem's reign at the top of the UK charts has ended, with Devil May Cry 5 jumping straight to the summit. It's Capcom's second #1 of the year following the success of Resident Evil 2, and the game matches the #1 achievement of DMC Devil May Cry in 2013. The launch sales between the two DMC games are almost identical, although, as always, these charts do not include download data. And considering the rise of digital sales, we can assume this new game has outperformed the 2013 reboot. Devil May Cry 5 has performed best on PS4, with Sony's console accounting for 80% of the physical sales.
That's nuts. 80%. So when people go, oh, PlayStation's losing it, again, that's a narrative that is not actual factuals.
Especially since first time we saw this was on Xbox's stage at E3.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Best co-host. Like, it's crazy. And just to read the top 5, it ranks Devil May Cry 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the game that will not die. Then number 4, Anthem, which is a big stumble for Anthem because it was just announced, just released weeks ago. So, good luck, Anthem. Awesome job, Devil May Cry. This is awesome. Capcom, you're doing awesome things when it comes to anything but the Nintendo Switch port side. Keep doing what you're doing and change your prices on some of your reboots. With that, the next Flash news. Kyle, would you like to read this? This is great news.
Absolutely. Comes from Push Square. Days Gone development is complete ahead of April launch on PS4. The next PS4 exclusive from Sony's Worldwide Studios is ready to go. Development has officially wrapped on Days Gone, the open-world survival game from Ben Studio, achieving the status known as having gone gold. Congrats, Ben Studios. Go give them a shout-out and give them some love.
Seriously, go give them a shout-out right freaking meow. This is awesome. They're, again, wins at their backs. Keep going. Got everybody that follows the trophy room.
I am so excited to play this game at PAX East.
Dude.
Days Gone's going to be at PAX East?
It's going to be at PAX East.
Oh, shit.
This and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Still almost to the accent. Jesus Christ, thank God. Listen, Luke Lawler is a bad influence. A terrible influence. Yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Luke's great.
Yeah, and remember, Sekiro giveaway, it ends next week. We're going to be announcing the winner on next week's show. So if you haven't already, follow PS Trophy Room, like and retweet the pinned tweet, and you're entered to win. It's that simple. Our next story is a new segment called Cocaine's a Hell of a Drug. Shout out to Mark. Kyle?
I didn't know that you put that in here.
Yeah, I did, of course.
God,
anytime something wacky and crazy like this shit happens, we gotta give a shout out to Mark. He's gonna take care of all the nasty stuff.
Andrew, do you know what the shout out to Mark is in reference to?
Not even the slightest.
We'll tell you after the show.
Yeah.
It gets fucking crazy.
It's not great. This comes from IGN. Yakuza spin-off Judgment pulled from sale in Japan after drug scandal.
Ooh.
Sega announced today that it has halted Japanese sales of Judgment, the latest action-adventure game from the developer of the Yakuza series. The reason behind this sudden decision is the fact that Pierre Taki, whose voice and likeness are used in the game as character Kyoei Hamura, was arrested as a suspect for the usage or possession of drugs. While this may not sound like a reason to stop selling a game, similar occurrences are common in Japan's entertainment business. The Manchichi News,
that's a fucking awesome news site,
reports that 51-year-old Taki confessed to using a small amount of cocaine, and police are currently searching for further evidence. If prosecuted, Taki could face up to 7 years in prison. On its official website, Sega announced, "We have received reports of an arrest, and we are currently confirming the facts. We are withdrawing Judgment from sale in Japan for the time being, including both physical and digital editions." Sega also stated that it will no longer promote the game online, with the official Japanese website no longer accessible and all past tweets by Sega's official Twitter account regarding the game being deleted. It is not known if Sega plans to restart selling the game once things settle down, but the wording of its announcement suggests it could be a temporary move. The Japanese word "tumen" translates roughly as "for the time being," and it is not quite as strong a commitment as "temporarily." It is not known if this incident will have any influence on the Western release of Judgment, which is scheduled for June 25th. At the time of writing, the game is still available on the PlayStation Store in Hong Kong and other regions in Asia.
So, first things first, I love how it's just a little bit of cocaine. It's just like a small bit. Police, it's only a small little bit. Also, you would think this guy colluded with Russia. That's how many years he could get in prison for a small amount of cocaine. It's crazy. It's crazy. This guy has Manafort lawyers. What's going on here? This news is just crazy to me, just because of how different our cultures are. Like,
yeah.
Like just holding a whole production of a game because a person on the team did cocaine is crazy to me. I mean, not to say go out there and do cocaine. Hopefully you're not getting that message.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't be a dumb idiot, okay? You do that. Listen, Tim Wolf's son in there, don't ever touch that stuff or else.
Absolutely not.
Or else I'm going to tell your dad that I'm disappointed in you. Don't you dare do that, boy. But no, I know Tim Wolf doesn't raise no fool. So that, I dropped my pen. It's just weird.
It's funny though. I mean, like, I don't know. It's very comical to me.
Yeah.
Because we're in this day and age where, and I know that cocaine is cocaine.
Yeah.
But like, in terms of like marijuana, it's such a stupid thing for people to be like so bent out of shape about. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like Kyle said, there's obviously a culture difference there. You know, I don't know what it's. Like in Japan, like having a little thing of cocaine could be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, has there been any instances with Western entertainment media?
I can't think of anything. It's just
that it's like this tiny, like over a drug thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously there are other issues.
Michael Phelps, remember when he smoked a J?
Oh.
And he lost all of his endorsements?
Was he doing he had like Wheatie boxes too?
Yeah. And Wheatie's like,
where like
you smoked the devil's lettuce.
Yeah. after he smoked weed, like Michael Phelps was just.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And it's crazy because like Camilla Harris could be like, yeah, I smoked weed, and then like the Breakfast Club is like, whoa, Camilla Harris, we didn't know you were so cool, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I did like a whole lot of political stuff in less than 5 minutes. Luke Laura's losing his shit. Kyle,
yeah,
Andrew, I need you both to hold on to something because we are preparing for the drop. Each and every week, the latest and greatest in games comes out on the PlayStation storefront each and every week. And there's so many great games that come out that we can't just list them all. It would take a whole episode. Trust me, believe me, folks. So instead, what we've decided to do is pick out the games that interest us the most. And this week, I'm going to start first, if you don't mind, because I'm going to buy Andrew and Kyle time. My first pick is not going to be The Division. I'm not taking the easy way out this week, okay? My first pick is the Caligula Effect Overdose. Now,
I'm
this
proud
game...
of you that you got that word right, Joe.
God, dude, I tried so hard on that one. This game, and the description as follows, is school is back in session. The Caligula Effect Overdose boasts enhanced visuals and gameplay, including new characters, new scenarios, new endings, and a mysterious, forbidden musician route. Why am I picking this game? Because when you look at it, it's like these weird anime girls, and of course, it's titties for the biddies out, and that's very uncomfortable for me. But our good friend Joe After Work is doing a giveaway over on his channel, twitch.tv/Joe After Work, where he's doing this. So if you want to get this game, get your jollies off, go over to his channel. It's what is it? ! Giveaway, and you're entered in. Go help him out. And just go to subscribe to Joe. Follow him. He's seriously the best streamer I know. That's just a straight up fact. Kyle, what's your pick?
Yeah. I just love how you just gave Tim Wolf's son really great advice. And then you said the titties and the bitties.
So sorry.
It's like perfect though.
Yeah, it was great. My pick is a game called Rico, which I didn't know existed until I saw the drop. 2 cops, 1 case, and only 24 hours to take them down. Face off against criminal gangs in an exciting procedurally generated action movie first-person shooter. Join forces with a friend, online or locally, and take down those crooks in true buddy cop style. This sounds like a really cool idea for a game.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, I saw this on the eShop yesterday.
This is
it's
dope.
on the Switch too?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow, nice.
Because Shuhei stole it.
That's right, yeah.
Chloroform.
Yeah. That's what the segment should be called. Andrew, what's your pick, sir?
I am going to take the easy way out because I've
shame in
just
that.
been so busy this week to not even research.
Don't worry about it, man. I forgot to ask until this episode went live.
You're good. You're like, yeah. So by the way, we're just about to start. I'm like, okay.
Take the
But
easy way out. It's
I'll
good.
go with the Division 2
Okay.
just because I spent about 150 hours with the first game. I had just lost my job when that first game came out, and so I was like, I got more than enough time to beat Division and explore the Dark Zone and all that stuff. So, but yeah, no, I'm very excited for this just because I like that it's going to be in a new location. I like the ability to play with friends. I like the ability to go PvP with friends in the Dark Zone,
I like it.
and I like loot. I like looting and shooting.
All right, go good. You know what? I'm down. I'm down, and let's go. We're gonna play it this Friday. I'm looking forward to it.
Washington D.C. is about to get wrecked.
Real, yeah. We're about to drain the swamp. Drain it all. It's gonna be huge. Kyle, what's the next story? Oh, actually, it's a new segment. Let me get out of character. This is a new segment I like to call. I just Googled trader in Google search, and Jade Raymond came up. Jade Raymond named Vice President of Google. This comes from Variety. Kyle, and everybody right now, before Kyle begins, close your eyes. If you're in your car, just close your eyes. Turn off your targeting computer. Let's go on a ride.
While you're driving, just close your eyes.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Listen to the sound of my voice.
Yep.
Games industry veteran Jade Raymond has been named the vice president of Google. Raymond announced the news over Twitter today. I'm excited to finally be able to share that I have joined Google as VP, wrote Raymond. She didn't clarify what her role would be as one of the company's vice presidents. Raymond got her start in the game industry as a programmer for Sony. She went on to work at Electronic Arts, then as a correspondent for the Electric Playground, and finally Ubisoft Montreal, where she was the producer of Assassin's Creed. She went on to serve as the executive producer on Assassin's Creed 2, Watch Dogs, and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. She helped open the Ubisoft Toronto studio and served as its managing director, helping to expand the studio. In 2015, Raymond joined EA and founded the Montreal-based Motive Studios. She left EA last year. In January 2019, she received the Legend Award at the 8th Annual New York Game Awards. At the same time, mock-ups of Google's controller have come out, as they have begun to tease their entrance into the video game market at GDC on March 19th.
And that's where I come in.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is actually, that was just a separate thing you just started reading.
Oh.
That was me. Yeah, that was me right at the end of it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. So I closed my eyes because I was picturing everything. I pictured her whole career. There was like a Lifetime movie. It was beautiful. I cried 3 times. So then at the same time, we got these mock-ups from Google. Or someone took the blueprints that Google's controller would look like and made it in real time. And it looks pretty bad to me. Right?
It's bad.
Like
it's awful.
The consensus
it's
is this
the
thing
Ouya.
looks awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does this news, obviously, I think the question I was going to ask, then it's become obvious. The Jade Raymond news is huge. Way bigger than a stupid controller.
I don't know a whole ton about her, but I'd say from everything I've kind of researched a little bit, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Seeing the type of games that she's worked on and has a hand in making, and they're great games.
Yeah, she has quite the resume
Yeah.
for sure.
Dude, and that's the thing. She has a huge resume. She has been in the industry for years, and seeing her in a VP position of we don't know what yet, but it could be just the VP of the consoles or whatever they're doing in Google land. That is way more interesting than anything that I think Google could announce. To me, though, I'm still not excited for the Google console. Like, it doesn't intrigue me one bit.
They just showed us this blocky looking controller.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I just want to know, like, on 319, if it's just a streaming service and there is no games to it, what is this thing offering me? Like, there needs to be this... for Google to enter into the gaming industry, they need to literally just invest billions of dollars to enter in, to walk into it, not just on the hardware side, but also the software side, because you think they have to hire all these buy all these developers, all these studios to go and make AAA games that you need to play on a Google device, because people like Amazon have tried and bought all these little studios here or there, but they've all failed. And so I feel like if anybody can make this succeed, Jade Raymond knows what makes a good video game, right? Like, dude, she worked at Motive last, but she's also worked on Splinter Cell series, on Watch Dogs, on the Assassin's Creed series. These are three huge franchises, two of which she had huge impressions on. So to me, that's awesome news. Good luck to you, miss. I wish the best, and I'll see you on the battlefield, you traitor. Anything else that you guys would like to add on this?
No, I'm really curious as to what this Google thing looks. If that controller's anywhere, like any indication of how awful that thing is going to be looking.
Yeah,
it looks like a what's that, like Play School?
Yes,
type controller.
It looks ugly. It looks just blocky.
Oh, is that a Fisher-Price controller?
There you go. That's what
I'm
I'm
get my hands on it.
Yeah, remember how well that worked out for the Wii U. With that comes my favorite segment of the show, guys.
Oh boy.
It's called Andrew House's Snail Mail. Now, Andrew, I'll fill you in here. Every single week before we start the show, I fly over to Great Britain. I find various ways to enter into Andrew House's house. And when I'm in there, I steal his licorice, his Turkish delights. I stole his dog one time. Don't worry, I returned him. Biscuits, gravy. Dude, I go in there with a backpack, and I'm just like, what do we need today? We didn't do groceries this week. We
You're
never
the
did.
anti-Santa Claus.
Yeah, pretty much. I have stolen his children's toys. And like their little nutcrackers.
I love that Joe. You said biscuits, and Joe went to gravy.
Yeah.
Do you not know that biscuits are cookies in England?
Oh, are they?
That's why I said biscuits, because you said you went to Great Britain, so I want to be.
I mean, that's what. Look,
I'm just picturing like a chug of chip.
He's a real
like biscuits, gravy.
Here's a real fucked up thing. They call milk gravy in Great Britain.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, so like I go in there, I steal their nutcrackers because that's what they use as toys over there. Yeah, and like we get into some wild, crazy stuff. This week though, it's kind of calm. I knocked on his gate. He didn't answer, so I just jumped over the gate, knocked on his door, and he's like, "Dude, seriously? How did you not get past?" He got past all my guards. He got past my laser security fence. What are you doing? I'm like, I just jumped and I was there. He's just like, that's a huge oversight in my defense system. I'm like, yeah, I know. You need to get better at this, Andy. You need to get better at this. You're a dumb, stupid idiot. How many times I got to tell you? And he's just like, you're right. And he's like, well, since you're here, what do you want? And I was like, can I have your mail? And he's just, fine. Yeah, sure. You can have my mail. I just walked over. I just took it and I just hopped over the fence. Nothing big. Nothing crazy.
Came right back home.
Yeah, he walks it back into the door, and then he finds literally everything is fucking stolen right in front of him. He just walks back, and it's all empty. Because what I did was that was just a hologram, right? That's how I got through all the security. I was untraceable. I hopped into his chimney because, all of the chimneys are super clean over there because of the chimney sweeps. While he had his back turned, I just took like a Flurgle, and I just started eating everything around, and it's mine now. His whole house is mine. I stole his expensive vases. I think there was a Picasso at one point. I don't know, but we took it. And I crawled out of that chimney. Dumb idiot, doesn't even know. And also I did take his mail. So with that, you can write in, of course, via PS Trophy Room on Twitter or on the Casa de Bad Bit Discord. And so our first question is, Mr. Moody asks, what do Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode need to do to stand out in an already overcrowded market? Or is it dead on arrival? Andrew, you play a lot of Battle Royale games. You're hip with the kids.
Yeah.
Is
If
this
you know
DOA?
me well, Battlefield,
Yeah,
it had a special place in my heart.
it did.
And
Same here.
then EA butchered it, basically, in my opinion. I
Okay.
thought Battlefield 1 was actually good. I played about 4 hours of Battlefield 5 and sold that game immediately. So is it dead on arrival? EA does this thing where they like to be in competition with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have Apex Legends out, but then they're going to put Battlefield 5 out, and they're behind both of them.
Yeah.
Well, the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale, sorry, to, give a little more context. But I don't think this is going to do well. I really don't. Like, that's the thing is, like, all these games feel the need that, oh, okay, well, now we got to have a Battle Royale mode in here, just because. And, I know that Call of Duty kind of perfected it a little bit, but then, like, Apex Legends came out, it got even better because it did cooler stuff.
For free.
For free than
I don't-
Blackout did. So
I don't think there's
this is
Yeah.
dead on
This is
arrival.
DOA.
Absolutely.
It's sad because, same here. I love Battlefield so much.
I did.
It's
I did.
Kyle, DOA?
Yeah, and I have so many ideas for new battle royale style games. Like, it's shocking to me that there's not like a Hunger Games like battle royale game.
Right.
That'd be killer.
With like swords and stuff.
Or just like it's a way where, like, if you're streaming on Twitch, people can actually like gift you things, and you can get like airdrops from the game type of thing. It'd be weird. It would never happen. It won't work. But like like a very interactive battle royale game.
I gotta pay money to help someone win,
Yes,
but I get nothing. I get nothing out of it. That's
No, absolutely.
I see what
EA,
you're
don't
saying,
listen
though.
to me. Don't.
I see what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I like where the mind's at.
Yeah.
Someone who could have been my father writes in, Adam Leonard, over PS Trophy Room. Again, you can too. Follow us on Twitter, Sekiro Giveaway. What's your favorite PS1 game? Wait, are you old enough to have played PlayStation 1 back in the day? God, I'm old, aren't I? Indeed you are,
Yes.
Adam. And also extremely talented. He did all the art you see on Bad Bit is pretty much all him, except for the intro, the new intro. The emblems are him at the very end. But like the trophy room that you're looking at right now, if iTunes freaking refresh it, okay? Refresh it. But yeah, he's talented. And yeah, of course I played PS1, dude. Of course.
Yeah.
Siphon Filter. Star Wars. Masters of the Terrakasi is the best PS1 game.
Oh,
Some would
what a
even say
great
the game of the generation.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 2: Enter Electro.
Kyle, what about you?
I'm going with my first PS1 game I ever played, Brave Fencer Musashi.
I'm gonna understand like I understood that whole sentence.
It's a great game.
Alex Van Aken. A man that we will soon have on the show. We have then collected them all when it comes to the OK Beast crew.
Gotta catch 'em all.
I feel like once you get all the like OK Beast crew on a podcast, you punch a card and you get something for free. Probably you get one of the hosts for free. You probably get Moises.
You have Moises
We
on?
get Moises.
Yeah.
No, we haven't had Moises on yet.
No, that's what we'll do.
That is he's basically the golden snitch.
Yeah.
You gotta catch him.
Hell yeah. Alex Van Aken writes, I know all of y'all are loving Apex. Is it slowing you down anytime soon? I've been bouncing off so many games and going back to Apex. Kyle, I know you're not big into it, but do you feel like a hankering every once in a while to jump back in? Give it a
For
go?
sure.
Yeah.
I'm awful at the game, but it is super fun.
Yeah.
And I need to at least get one kill. I've
Just
at least
one.
killed somebody in Fortnite. I need to kill somebody.
You've
Apex.
killed someone in Apex.
I've not killed. I have 0 kills on my record.
Oh my god.
We're fixing this, Kyle. We're fixing
We
this.
have to. We have to.
Yeah, even if I shoot the majority of them, I'm like, Kyle,
Yes, you weaken them and let me just get one shot.
Like,
Exactly,
I'll down
exactly.
him so that you can just
Perfect.
there
burst
you
him.
go. There you
That's
go.
the thing. I've downed a couple people, and
Yeah.
then so they've stolen my kills. But
No, but that counts. When you down them, it counts.
So
Really?
You have killed
You
someone,
have
yes.
killed.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I have
So-
to.
Yeah,
Maybe I have
if you
to double
down
check
someone
that.
and then
Yeah.
like your teammate kills them, then you're gonna get the
Counts,
kill.
baby,
There-
counts.
Oh, okay. All right. Unless I never downed someone, I thought I did.
So yeah, that's my question for you, Andy. Is and not the house of which I still is mail. Is that like with the division coming out? Is that going to like hinder you? Do you feel like, oh my god, how am I going to balance these two games?
Sure. So I've played both the private beta and the open beta for Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it honestly it does feel a lot of the same as the Division 1, and so I am sold on the game. Maybe once I do get my hands on, say, like the base game, there's a possibility they could be doing some really cool stuff in there where I'm like, okay, I'm going to put Apex on the back burner for now, just focus on Division 2, and then maybe once I get burnt out on that, go back to Apex before Days Gone. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's a chance, but right now we're kind of in that slow season, until technically tomorrow or tomorrow night with Division 2. So, I'm still gonna play a lot because I've played with you, Joe, and I've played with Alex like all the time, Blessing, and like all those guys. So, I don't really feel like it's gonna slow down. I mean, I was gonna take a whole week off this week after the tournament.
Yeah.
But then like last night I played with Alex O'Neill from Irrational Passions for like 2 hours. So
for me, like I'm feeling a little burnt out on the game because there's no battle pass. Because I feel like I need to earn something, and I've earned all the trophies so far. So I feel like now after level 50, getting a loot box is ridiculous. And that's actually one thing I would change ASAP, is I need to be constantly rewarded, because when I'm not, I just don't feel like playing your game. I need that challenge. I need something to look forward to.
Wasn't there a rumor that the Battle Pass was going to come out this week?
Man, aren't there always some rumors and speculation? Isn't that the case? Yeah, so for me, I'll have that trouble once Sekiro Shadows Die Twice comes out, because then I'll be balancing 3 games. And Sekiro the new gameplay, it looks insane. It looks nothing like.
Can we talk about that game just a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
let me get my Bloodborne statue.
Whip that out real quick. Thanks. Appreciate that. So, Bloodborne, that game is very difficult. Very difficult. But and I have tried. It is very good. Okay. I've tried 2 or 3 times to get into that game.
Tread lightly here, Andrew. Tread fucking lightly.
He says that, but I'm still here, Andrew. So go ahead.
And so Sekiro, am I pronouncing that right?
You are.
Is it Sekiro?
Yeah.
I love Japanese culture. I love all the mythology and all that kind of cool stuff. It looks really fast. I like the fact that there's a stealth element to it. Mm-hmm. I talked about this with Alex O'Neill last night. He's like, man, if you really didn't like Bloodborne, or if you really didn't get into Bloodborne, I don't think you're gonna like Sekiro.
Well, guess what? You gotta stop hanging out with this crew.
No,
not good for you.
I was just like, but there is something that kind of speaks to me more than Dark Souls ever did, or Bloodborne ever did. I think it might be just the Japanese mythology as a whole. And like I said, I love stealth games.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I have the ability to sneak around people, I think that also is.
From what I've noticed with this game, I've watched a few gameplay snippets. So the first thing is it's a lot more welcoming from what at least the presses are for this game. It's a lot more welcoming than a Bloodborne or a Dark Souls. But at the same exact time, it doesn't play it plays similarly to those games, but it is very much its own beast. It is a lot more personal with your enemies, where in Bloodborne, it's all about groups of enemies and how you pull them away from their groups, and that's how you dissect them down and kill them and all that jazz. Dark Souls is it slower paced, and you're kind of doing something similar. With Sekiro, it actually kind of takes something from Nero, where it's more personal. The enemies are more one-on-one combat from what I've seen. You have a few patrols, but it's more personal. They're really trying to get that samurai showdown feel with each engagement. And each enemy, the little mini bosses throughout the game, they have 2 health meters. So you actually kind of have to kill them twice. And when you get down to the first health bar, you get to the second one, and that's a different stance that they take. So
do you take a different stance, or do you have
it relies a lot more on critical movement, critical hits, than Bloodborne or Dark Souls has, because they really want that visceral stabbing of this, in there. And also using your grappling hook in battle when it comes to bigger enemies. I actually saw one guy hook a dude in the throat and then wrap around him to stab him in the back and have a critical slice, like critical hit. So this game looks insane, and people go like, you could play it like Bloodborne, you could play it like Dark Souls, and that's fine, but this is a different way to play because of the grappling hook, because of you jumping around. It's nuts. So I don't know if it's going to be for you. I'll be honest, but it's going to be challenging because we know what From Software is, but it's going to feel rewarding when you beat a guy. I can't wait for it, man.
Yeah. And I can always text you and be like, hey, help me.
Exactly, yeah. And well, in Sekiro, it's only single player. There's no multiplayer.
Yeah. I mean, like, certain sections I'll be like, Joe, help me.
Yeah, what's the
God,
strat?
help me.
Yeah. So, Sekiro, I'm super down for. Also, again, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice giveaway is ending next episode. So if you have not subscribed to the Trophy Room, or sorry, not subscribed, if you have not followed the Trophy Room on PS Trophy Room on Twitter, like and retweet the pinned tweet, what are you doing? Go ahead, do it. Also, rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Send us a picture of it. That's how you get entered in as well. So there's multiple different ways to win, and it's really there to reward fans. A lot of people have asked me, Rybo included, of like, Joe, are you going to rig this like Bobby rigs all his? No, absolutely not. What I do, in all transparency, so you all know before going into this, is about an hour before the show, hour or two, depending on how many people we get in, I will look at each person who has entered the giveaway, and what I do is I make sure they're not bots, because it happened to me in my first Overwatch giveaway I ever did. A bot won, and I felt horrible. I was like, dumb me, if I only knew. So if I see someone who's like only doing giveaway stuff, like only retweeting giveaway stuff, they're not entered. So if I see more than 5 consecutive ones, I'm like, you're just here for giveaways, right? It's here to reward actual fans that actually come, actually watch, actually participate. That's what this is for. It's to reward you guys for being so passionate about PlayStation, about this podcast. That's what it's there for. So don't worry if, like, again, if you don't win, it's not because some bot won. It's just a way for us to say thank you. And don't worry, if you don't win this one, there will be another one that we'll announce next week. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Your just days are going by until next episode. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. With that, I want to end the show by saying this. Getting Fit with Bad Bit. I haven't done it in the last 2 weeks because the last 2 weeks have been awful. Like, I just haven't had time. And I knew I gained weight. And I had this, like, shame period of, like, I bet it was, like, 8 pounds. I bet I gained it all back. And I was, like, so scared to get on the scale again. I only gained 2 pounds in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm back to 345. That's fine. It's not going to get me down. Had my last cheat day yesterday. I was watching Captain Marvel, which is awesome. My mom watched it. Yeah. She wanted to go see it, which was awesome. And she liked the cat the most. But with all that said, this is where it gets to our plugs. Kyle, what do you got to plug for us, sir?
Well, I like to plug myself. Who Dat Ninja 73 on Twitter and PSN. My show all about the Kind of Funny community, which has featured both Joe and our guest this week, Andrew. You can find that on Twitter at BFS Talk Funny and at Best Friends Talk Funny, wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify. If you're going to PAX East, I'll see you there. And if you're in New York City the first weekend in April, come hang out at some Kind of Funny Best Friend meetups for Kind of Funny World Tour. Ooh, Joe's got a beautiful mug.
I do.
Kind of NYC mug.
Yeah, it's got a pizza slice on it.
I like pizza.
Andy, where can they find you? Where can they find the Raccoon City podcast?
Yeah.
Raccoon City Radio podcast.
Yeah, Raccoon City Radio is a podcast that I've been doing for the last month or so with Alex O'Neill from Rational Passions. Just talking about the new Resident Evil 2 remake, I guess that's what we call it. And just dissecting the game. Leon's playthrough, Claire's playthrough. There's 2 campaigns, 2 sides to the game. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. If you want to check that out, if you're into Resident Evil or if you're into horror games, go check out the podcast. It's on iTunes. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at Papa Drew Bear. I tweet about games, movies, all the nerdy stuff, just like everyone else.
But you're not like everyone else, Drew. You're special.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
No one ever told me that.
Yeah. You know you are.
Joe's like, I don't know how to do it.
Oh, your wife's like, yeah, listen, I settled. Yeah, man, awesome. Thank you for coming on, dude.
Thank you guys
awesome
for having
show.
me on. It was fun.
Dude, let me tell you, the last 3 episodes, it just gets better. It's just, we're on a roller coaster ride, man. We keep going up. I want to know what is the plumbing, like, descent, right? Like, what's the show that's going to really do me in?
I bet you can't wait to get to episode 100 until you officially launch the podcast.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
So you're almost there.
We're almost there. I can't wait. This pilot's been pretty long.
I think we've ironed out all the kinks.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
With all that said, everybody, again, enter that Sekiro giveaway. You know where to go. PS Trophy Room at Twitter. You can follow this not follow. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Podbean, SoundCloud, Google Play, wherever there's an RSS feed service, even Stitcher. You can go over there. It's crazy. It's nuts. And then also you can find the podcast on Bad Bit Games over there on YouTube. We just did a Should You Buy for Devil May Cry 5. Spoiler alert, you should. But you should still watch that video because I make some funny jokes. Then we also talk about Fortnite controversy yet again, this time involving IGN. It's a good video. It's a nice one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a humbling one. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation. Andrew, this is the part where we wave to the video.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
Bye.